Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to do a very specific video on why circumstances do not matter, because this is continually coming up in the comment section, definitely in my tarot readings, because obviously tarot tends to point out certain circumstances, point out what is going on with a specific person, certain different people that are involved in situations, and I get comment after comment after comment all the time. You know, what if X, Y, Z, but what about if they're with a third party? What if I'm still blocked? What if I still haven't heard from them? What if they are hot and cold? What if they never change? Now, I really want to get into this, guys, and I think by the end of it, you're going to have a strong foundation that's going to really help you to move beyond these circumstances and fully understand why, when we are conscious creators and consciously applying law of assumption, none of this shit really matters at all. So let me tell you the truth about your reality and your circumstances, and I'm going to tie in Neville, who did always emphasize why imagination is actually the only true reality. And I really want you guys to get a grasp of this. And I'm going to use an analogy, the mansion analogy, okay? Because Neville did reference the Bible. And when he did, he said, "The kingdom is within you, and my Father's room has many mansions." And I want to explain that to you in a way that's actually quite practical and digestible. And I hope that that's going to help you in a way to fully understand why everything that you're experiencing moment by moment by moment is in fact a reflection of you, or perhaps even a room that you've entered within a certain mansion. When he was referring to "my room has many mansions" or "the kingdom is within you" and the Bible, he always referenced it like it's a psychological drama, okay, that is stemming from within you. Now, everything is changeable by shifting you. The circumstances or outer circumstances that you're experiencing are just something that you have selected, okay, through your imagination. Nothing in your outer reality can you even experience without it having been conceived from within, okay? And so the experiences that you can have are absolutely unlimited. The people in your reality are, just as Neville likened in the Bible, part of a psychological drama. Each identity or state that you're occupying, which we could liken to, say, a room, and I'm going to get into this a little bit more, a room in a mansion or a party, for example, anything that you're selecting in any moment. The people are like a cast, and there are plots and there are characters and there are versions of characters, and therefore circumstances are all coming through you, okay? This is why no circumstances, no matter what anyone is saying or doing in any moment or has, matter. And I hope with the analogy and explanation that I give you, we can finally put this to rest and end any questioning and worrying about any of your individual circumstances that you may be clinging to, or where you feel like everything is out of your control, okay? And the false belief that, you know, somehow your circumstance is fixed, or that there is any deterrent to you getting what you prefer on the outside, or having the outside reflect what you would prefer. You're completely limitless, but your entire reality is dictated by you. And that is your identity, or the state, or the room that you're occupying or dwelling in, and what you're aware of. So let's break this down, okay? And I want to get into the mansion analogy, or, you know, my kingdom has many mansions, or whatever I said earlier, okay? So imagine that you're at a party, guys, a mansion party, okay? All right, and so let me put it this way. Imagine you're there and you're at a party, and say your name is Sarah and you want John. In one room, you know, John and you are having a great time, and John's treating you really well. And in another room, John is with Bethany and ignoring you. And in another room, John isn't even there, or John's not even at the party, okay? And in another room, John is being rude. In another room, John tells you you're ugly and never wants to see you again, okay? You're experiencing in each room a different sort of dynamic, and a frequency even, we would say, like emotions, etc. One room there is coldness, distance. Another room there is lots of happiness and joy. One room everyone is showing up like they're absolutely, you know, loving you and giving you good vibes. In another room you're being completely ignored. Each and every single one of these rooms is actually just a different version of you. and a different reality that you're experiencing, okay? And the circumstances that are popping up moment by moment are what you are reflecting outwards from an identity. Each of these rooms is your identity. So the identity of you being chosen by John, the identity of John not talking to you, the identity of John maybe getting it on with 3 or 4 different other people and completely ignoring you. The identity, you know, all of this stuff is like you being chosen, you being loved, you being ignored, etc., etc. And everything that is playing out is a psychological drama stemming from you. Okay, every room is a state of consciousness. So it exists whether or not you're in it. All states exist at once, guys. Creation is finished. So you only get to experience what you're aware of, or rather who you're aware of being, okay, in any given moment. And that is why we get to choose identities by shifting states, stepping into a different room, through the mind, through the imagination. So when, as Neville often said, in my Father's house there are many mansions, this really is the root and deeper understanding of you and your ability to experience through the imagination anything and anyone and any version of anyone, okay? Everyone is always going to be reflecting whatever state that you're in, and circumstances are completely different according to your state, okay? So there are infinite states that you can embody, and infinite versions of self, and therefore infinite reflections, as everyone is you pushed out. Every room that you enter, you're actually, whether you knew it or not, the center, okay? You are the center of your world. You are the God of your reality, okay? And everyone that is showing up is a reflection of, you know, patterns, thought patterns, assumptions, beliefs, perceptions, etc. As within, so without, guys. So when you shift rooms, you shift worlds, versions, realities. Creation is finished, as I've already pointed out. So all the versions of you and your life already exist, all potentials. And you're only ever selecting any of those potentials that already exist through what you're aware of, okay? And what you're paying focus to, and that is going to come down to your identity, right? Which you can change in any moment. In my Father's house, there are many mansions. I go to prepare a place for you, that where I am, there you may also be. So that is a biblical reference. I think it's from John 14:2-3. So these mansions aren't places, guys, that are far off or in the sky. They are just states of consciousness that are available in any given moment to occupy. Okay, so here's the part that most people miss. All these states already exist because creation is finished, as I pointed out. You're not creating something new. You're actually just selecting what already is. Okay, you're shifting your awareness of being the I am, the identity that you would like to embody. So let's say the room that you'd like to step into with the mind. And everything from there is going to stem from that, okay? Everyone will reflect that, including, therefore, your assumptions about, say, John or whoever it is that you want. As Neville said, all conceivable states are available for occupancy, and also a man can be seen where his imagination is, for imagination is himself. When you think from the end, so imagine you have stepped into the room, so you're thinking from the end, right? So just say you are wanting to be with John, and currently you're experiencing John being with Mary, or John being with a number of people, or John saying he doesn't like you. Thinking from the end is you personally stepping with your imagination into the room, the preferred room, where John is with you, and that is all, okay? This is why circumstances never matter. They are always, always, always a result of your inner world. They're just reflections of the state that you've been occupying, okay? Neville said, not one thing has appeared, but what a man has decreed. Decree is done in consciousness. Man is what he decrees himself to be. So if you would like to be in, as the analogy of like you want to be with John, all you would need to do is shift your consciousness, your state, to being the version of you that is chosen by John, full stop. Go to the end. And all the circumstances must shift. Never mind how complex they seem. Never mind whether you were previously in the state or occupying the room in the mansion where John said He thinks you're ugly, doesn't want to be with you, blocked you, is with Bethany and Christina and all those things, is married. It doesn't matter, guys. You're walking into a different room in the imagination, and the circumstances will shift because they always came from you. All the plots, all the characters, everyone in every single room are different, okay? And so your imagination is taking care of that. Once you occupy the room, the outside is going to reflect that state, that end. Neville said thinking from the end is the beginning of all miracles. Not wishing, not hoping, not waiting, but viewing the world from the state where it's already done, because everything exists right now, guys. So your only job is to fix your thoughts, to fix your inner world. I don't even like to say fix because there's nothing wrong, but to refocus, okay? So put yourself in the end and move beyond the guilt, beyond the shame of anything that was experienced before that stemmed from an unpreferable state or an identity where you're not chosen, where John's ignoring you, you feel unloved, you feel unworthy, okay? Let's talk about Neville's Barbados story. Neville himself used this technique. He told himself, I'm in Barbados. And all the circumstances took care of themselves, even when it seemed, due to the circumstances, he couldn't afford a ticket. It seemed impossible due to whatever was presented right then in that moment in his physical reality, okay? Even though he was physically in New York with no money and no way of getting there, it happened, okay? Because the assumption became habitual, or the assumption that that was the end and it was happening because he had decided and he had selected that end, okay? So that is when that end became visible. It materialized. So we can't blame the world anymore or circumstances, guys, all right? This does take accountability, but it is the key to freedom. Once you know this, okay, this is going to be what unlocks your limitless ability to manifest and experience anything you want out of the infinite potentials. So it depends entirely on how I view the world, how it presents itself, is what Neville says, okay? If I dwell in the state of being rejected, the world or John or anyone is going to show me rejection. If I dwell in the state of being chosen, the world is going to confirm it. This is not magic. It is just the law of assumption. It operates regardless of whether you are applying it consciously or unconsciously, guys. Let's talk about Neville, how he explained that the Bible is just not really secular history at all. It is just a psychological drama playing out in the mind of man. In the Bible, every character is a state, every parable is a pattern of consciousness. There are infinite plots, there are infinite characters, there are infinite realities, all alive through the awareness of man. So nothing can even be experienced unless through awareness or observation, guys. So just like a play, you can pick up a new role at any time and you can assign new roles to any person. It's been like that the entire time. Anything that you've experienced up to this point has come down to some level of awareness through whatever identity that you occupy, okay? So this is about an identity shift. I always say that you're redeemed not by force but by identity. Another quote from Neville: man must be where imagination is, for imagination is himself. The spirit of Jesus is the continued identification of man with his ideal. And when you live from that ideal, everything changes to match it. So finally, guys, if you're asking me what to do when things look hopeless, or you keep going back to some specific circumstance, something that was said, the way things have appeared or are appearing, or your person is not talking to you, or they're with another person, none of your circumstances are insurmountable or special, okay? It's just a particular room that you have selected and continue to be selecting. Creation is finished. You don't need to fix or change anything within a particular state or room or person. You don't need to fix the person or the circumstance or manipulate them. You need to align by stepping into an identity that has that which you desire and let the rest take care of itself, okay? The world and your person and everyone else will reconfigure to match the room that you're in, that you're selecting. Circumstances never, ever, ever matter, no matter what. Your state does, okay, guys? So I hope that that helped you. And if so, please do let me know in the comments. So guys, if you've enjoyed this, like, share, subscribe. And also, if you like tarot, you can subscribe to watch some of my tarot readings where I actually help you to shift out of undesirable circumstances and reselect the identity and the version of any situation that you would prefer. Tarot, just like anything that I've described, is a psychological drama. The circumstances, the reading, the characters, the way in which characters are showing up or have showed up, they're all just like plots in various rooms that we can shift through at any given moment. So if you're interested in seeing the way I read, which is a little different to the traditional tarot readers, then please do check out my channel. And also guys, I've been putting together something that I'm really excited to announce soon. I've been putting it together in the back end. It's going to be something that's going to help you actually shift into your power and stay there in your most preferable identity, your I amness, and get out of any unwanted cycles or loops that you've been experiencing with a specific person or in your love life, any hot and cold behavior, any repetitive patterns that you've had, and get you actually what you want, because you are the power, you are the God of your reality. And I'm going to be announcing that very soon. So if you want to stay in the know, make sure that you subscribe if you haven't already. Keep a lookout for more information about that. I'm sending you guys so much love, and I'm going to check in with you in the next one.